Hi, George here. The show you're about to watch was produced before the pandemic, which explains why no one's wearing a mask. Now, a lot of the places I visit are still in the process of reopening, but once things are safe and back to normal, I highly encourage you to check them out and support them. So with that said, enjoy the show. My name is George Igo, and throughout my entire life, my travel ambitions have always outweighed my bank account. But with some research, planning, and a little creativity, I find the best things to do in a city, all without spending more than $100. This is George Goes Everywhere. Hello and welcome to George Goes Everywhere, the show where we explore a city and see as much of it as we can, all without spending more than $100. I'm in New York City today, and it's a little rainy right now, but it's supposed to clear up later. We'll see what happens. And I have 4 categories I want to hit: culture, food, drink, and history. So let's explore the Big Apple on a budget. Now in this episode, not only do I want to hit those categories, but I also want to do something that involves all 5 New York City boroughs. So I'm starting here. Actually, I got a better way of explaining. The best way to show the geography of the city would be through the bird's eye view of a helicopter tour, which totally exists and look amazing, but they're also crazy expensive, and I ain't got that kind of cash, so I'm gonna do the next best thing. This is the panorama of the city of New York. It's a giant scale model of the city, and I do mean giant. The scale of this thing is absolutely immense. They say that every inch on this model is 100 feet in real life, so if you thought New York was big before, just come here and you'll see how ginormous it really is. They even have a nighttime mode. Every few minutes, the lights dim and the city lights come on. This place is just adorable. But enough fawning, let's use this bad boy to illustrate where we'll be headed. We start here in Queens, then we head to Brooklyn, then we stay in Brooklyn but do something with a history rooted in the Bronx. Then we go all the way down to Staten Island before finally circling back to Manhattan. Make sense? Good. Let's rock. But even though I just said that Manhattan is last on this New York tour, we actually have to make plans for that right now. See, New York has a world-famous theater scene, so I want to see a show while I'm here, but to keep things cost-effective, I'm going to use some ticketing apps that allow you to get day-of tickets at a discounted price. Now, this is a bit of a gamble. You kind of never know what's going to be available and what the price is going to be, so let's just think of it as theater roulette. So, let's see what's shaking on the theater scene. That's kind of interesting. There's a show here called Batsu. It's a Japanese game show type thing where contestants are made to come on stage and do comical punishments. That's kind of up my alley. So I'm gonna pull the trigger on this, but that is not till later. In the meantime, let's get our New York City party started. Rather than go to any old bar here in Brooklyn, I wanted to go someplace that highlights Brooklyn's more hipstery aesthetic. And I think I found exactly that in Enlightenment Wines, a bar that makes its own mead. Now, if you're not familiar, mead is an alcoholic drink made from honey. It's basically honey wine. And believe it or not, I've never even had it, which is very surprising because I think I've had just about every other type of drink there is. Okay, so they actually give you 3 separate samples so you can try all of them before you commit to actually buying one, which is great news for me. This is the St. Crimson right here. Oh, wow. It's like a red wine, but it's very sweet. It's a very sweet red wine. That's pretty good. That's a strong contender, but we'll see how the others compare. Oh, that's interesting. It's like a white wine, like a spicy white wine. It's not as sweet as the last one. Finally, we have the Pinkest Pump. This is a raspberry mead. What does this taste like? I can't put my finger on it. Like an alcoholic tea, maybe? Does that make sense? No. The first red one was probably my favorite, but it was also the most similar to stuff I've already had. But in the interest of getting something different, something that I can't usually get, I think I'm gonna get the raspberry mead. Can I order the Pinkest Punk? I don't usually get pink drinks, but this is a good exception. Well, all right, I'm very glad I did that because I'm going to need a drink in me for what's next. Now, the map says we're in Brooklyn, but history says we're in the Bronx because the Bronx is considered to be the birthplace of hip-hop and, more importantly for us right now, breakdancing. So I've come to Wondrous Studio of Breaking, a dance studio that specializes in breakdancing lessons so I can learn some moves. And come on, look at me. I'm clearly a horrendous dancer, so this should be interesting.
1, 2, rock 3, rock 4, open, crisscross, spin, turn around. Then go on your heels. Kick out. Good, yeah, good. Stop.
That's pretty fast.
Yes, yeah. Okay, the next one is called the freeze. The pose that you do for the camera. So challenge, I want you to hold up one of your feet. Yeah, that's our first freeze. Never said it was gonna be easy. I'm a kick in the butt, right?
Oh man, it's a big kick in the butt. Now, I made it out to Staten Island, which is the furthest out of all the New York City boroughs, but I think it's gonna be worth the trip because I found a restaurant called Enoteca Maria that has something called Nanas of the World. Now, Nana means grandmother in Italian, so Nanas of the World means that each day a different grandmother from a different country serves the food of that nation. So one day it'll be an Italian grandmother, the next day it'll be an Indian grandmother, the next day it'll be a Puerto Rican grandmother. You get the idea. And today it's a Peruvian Nana, so let's get ourselves some authentic South American cooking. I've never had Peruvian food. Is it good?
Delicious. Rose is the greatest.
Really?
Yeah.
Rosa Rosa from Lima, Peru. The staff raves about her, so this is pretty exciting. Yeah, I'll get the costillas de cerdo, tender pork spare ribs served with red beans and white rice. Oh man, this is really good. I don't know what she does to them. They're golden brown. They're unlike any other ribs I've ever had in my life. Rosa, the Peruvian Nana, came over. She introduced herself. She's absolute sweetheart, exactly what I expected, and her food is amazing. Clean Plate Club. I gotta get to Peru. I really gotta get to Peru. So I'm heading back to Manhattan. It's almost time for our exciting Japanese game show type thing, but first, let's do a little urban exploring. There's an old abandoned subway station beneath the city called the Old City Hall Station. Remember that station in Ghostbusters 2 that they found with the river full of slime? It's kind of like that, but you know, minus the slime. And I really want to check it out, but there's a problem. See, this place is completely off limits to the public. They have tours there sometimes, but they're expensive and hard to get onto. But luckily, I have a workaround. When the number 6 train reaches its last stop, it uses this old subway station to turn around. So if you just stay on the train, you can get a glimpse of old New York for the price of a subway ride. Though I suppose this could actually be free if you wanted, because you can make money down here from busking. You know, playing music on the subway platform for money, which is actually completely legal. As long as you're not blocking the paths or anything, you can totally do it. Of course, I have no musical talent to showcase down here, but hey, I can dream, can't I? That was the last stop. We should be doing the turnaround now. Okay, I don't know what side it's gonna be on. This is kind of exciting though. There's no one else on the train.
Where is it? Where is it?
Oh my God, the suspense is killing me. Ah, there it is. It's super old school. Oh, it's so tiny though. Oh, it's already over. Oh, it was so fast. It was super tiny. I guess I see they don't use it anymore. It was very small by today's standards. It was super quick though. It was over before I really even had a chance to appreciate it. Should I do it again? No, I shouldn't do it again. All right, the time has come for our exciting Japanese game show type thing. Now, obviously, I really want to get chosen to participate, but there's no way to guarantee that. But they do say that the best way to increase your odds is to show up super early, so I'm here like an hour before the show starts. Fingers crossed. Well, I got chosen to participate. Definitely got chosen to participate. Long story short, I badly lost a game of charades, and the punishment was eating sushi off a fat, hairy man at... But see for yourself. Yeah, but hey, they did give me a free pitcher of beer for doing it, and really, I've done worse for free beer. Now, I really want to close things out by getting a couple of hot dogs at Papaya King. If you've never heard of it, it's a renowned hot dog place. But as you may have noticed, I've hit my $100 max, and rules are rules, and I'm nothing if not a stickler for the rules. Thankfully, I have an idea. Anyone? No one?